done this since I was a kid. Always torn cars down, put them back together. Had our first client about 10, 12 years ago. Hi, I'm Jeff Costa, owner of Sonoma County Street Rodz in Petaluma, California. We run about 3 employees off and on. Been in the business for about 8 years and been in this location for about 5. My original background was construction. Always did this as a hobby, basically since I was a kid, and it led into a business. We've got about 7 vehicles that we're working on at the present time, anywhere from the old pickups to some newer stuff. Basically, people come to us because we treat them fairly. We have very reasonable shop rates, giving them exactly what they ask for. Probably one of my most favorable builds was a '54 Ford F-100 that was in the cover of a Custom Classic Trucks magazine a few years back. One thing that really gives us a great opportunity with these, especially the American Graffiti charity event, it was filmed here locally. There is a lot of my customers, their vehicles were actually in the movie. It brings back a great tradition. These guys are putting these cars back on the road that they never had the opportunity to do this in the past. So with the American Graffiti, it's a big part of our business locally. I think one of the most important parts of a build is sitting down with the customer and designing a car best suited for them. We use all top quality products from head to toe. We don't cut any corners. The biggest part of an entire build is the motor. Asking the customer what it is that they're actually looking for. Horsepower, torque, fuel economy. The best thing going into these builds is using crate motors. They're basically a new motor, takes all the guesswork out of it, especially nowadays when these machine shops, there's no warranties, they can't guarantee that that motor is going to run. After sitting down with the customer and talking about crate motors, we have found that Blueprint best suits us and the customer also. They dyno each motor. It comes with its own dyno sheet, so we can explain to the customer, here's your motor that's been pulled on the dyno, and here are the specifications for it. Can't tell you enough how important that is. I don't want to pull the motor back out of a finished car. It was kind of a no-brainer to go with Blueprint. They've been fantastic to us. It gives the customer exactly what they need. They're so reliable, even our employees use them in their own vehicles. Every build that goes out of my shop has a Blueprint motor in it. We've installed dozens of these motors, and every single time they've been proven they work, and they work very, very well.
I restored this truck a couple years ago, and being here and working, we installed several Blueprint motors, so I decided that'd be the way to go with my truck. It's been reliable, easy to install, started up the first crank, very dependable, very happy with it.
Blueprint engines, they take the guesswork out of everything. We know what we're going to get when we order a motor. They're really reliable, ton of power. We know when we get a Blueprint motor that it'll fire up, the first time. They come pre-dynoed, they make tons of horsepower. There's no guesswork, there's nothing to think about. They're just really easy to use.
With this industry, it gives us an opportunity to give back to the community, especially with our American Graffiti salute. We give back to some of the local schools. Some of the cars that are in here are absolutely incredible, and some of these kids that come by during the weekend, it gives them an incredible opportunity to see some of this stuff where they'll never see it again in their lifetime.